Hi, I'm Michael. Cities are for people. Cities don't exist without the people that make them up, and the urban environment is built to serve people. Therefore, the goal of a successful city is to be a catalyst for the well-being and the productivity of its citizens. The city should build spaces which protect its citizens, which inspire its citizens to be creative, which encourage participation in the economy and in politics, which promote learning and create spaces for sharing culture. The success of future cities balances on urban planners' abilities to modernize these spaces while also focusing on the well-being of its people. For me, the most pressing challenge for cities in the 21st century is climate change. A factor which was once more abstract is now influencing people in their day-to-day lives. When an algae bloom in Lake Erie, created by dumping phosphate-rich fertilizers into the watershed, impacted the drinking water, I had to drive 50 miles to get fresh drinking water. If urban planners can focus on taking the challenge of climate change head-on, happy and productive compact cities can be the solution to countering the carbon footprint of urban sprawl. City planners of the 21st century also have to consider the changing ways people interact with one another and with space. Even though the internet is making some interactions with the city obsolete, the engagement with the space and a community that comes from walking down a bustling street can't be replaced. Fortunately, solutions lie within this problem for cities as well, as these technologies also produce data which can be used to better understand how people want and do use their cities. Modernization doesn't only mean building new cities from scratch, but also using existing infrastructure and spaces and adapting them. We can learn from the example of the Rust Belt. My hometown, Toledo, has a lot of urban spaces and infrastructure which were built with the intention of modernization, however forgetting personal scale. This is a crisis. It's led to a decline in happiness, in productivity, and in population. Big data can help us understand how people want to use urban space in order to reimagine cities like Toledo in modern ways, which will not only solve the crisis of personal scale, making people happier, safer, and more productive, but can also be used to prevent environmental crisis like the water crisis.